are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome, and we are here to talk about hard conversations about growth and development. That's the name of the game, people.
That is the name of the game. That is the only game. Okay.
So, what we got today? Well, first of all,
Did you introduce yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is
I did not. My name
Aaron Mack.
is Marcus Morton, your boys. And always here with me is the Aaron Mack.
I don't know, man. We might get some new listeners or something, man. You never know. Like this might be that one. This might be that one episode that blow up. You know, we got some new countries on our playlist now. So
Okay.
yeah, we got like 3 new countries since the last time we talked about it. I know Singapore hopped up on there. So yeah, like New Zealand, I think. Yeah, like it was like. Yeah, some different, some new blood just listening to the Dirty Trump podcast, man. I don't know how they finding it, but I ain't complaining. I just hope they share it.
That's what's up.
But you know, growth and development is a hard conversation to want to talk about. Not a lot of people want to talk about the hard stuff, and that's why we call it the Dirty Trump podcast, because the elephant is always walking. We like to talk about the elephant in the room. So just in case y'all were wondering what that was all about, that's what it's all about.
Right. I love it. So we'll do a little check-in. You know, what's been going on with your week, man?
Oh man, yeah. So I found myself last week having a little bit of imposter syndrome, man.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and put it all on the table and be transparent about it. This is what this episode is going to be about. I wanted to share this moment, because if I didn't share this moment, I would be going against. I would 100% be going against everything that I say that this podcast is all about. So I always said from the beginning that if I have a struggle, if I go through something and I reach a challenge, I promise you I will always bring it back to this podcast. And this situation was a situation where I literally I broke down, man. I've been like for the last maybe year and a half or maybe 2 years or so, just been trying to be like this guiding light, man. But the question that I asked myself, like, what happens when the guiding light is dim and there is no other light to refill it? So I ended up in a situation where I got hit with some bad news and there was literally no way out. Like so everybody know I'm trying to get a house right now. And I got to a point where they were telling me that the loan stuff may not go through, which we worked it out now, but at the moment, you know, things always seem worse in the moment than they actually are when you go back and reflect on them. So we were sitting in this moment, and I just got hit with some bad news and was told that that we might end up having to pay a little bit more out of pocket that I knew for a fact that we didn't have. And it was just one of those situations where it was like, yo, like the rich folks say, or the wealthy people say, how can I afford this? Or how can I afford this? What am I going to do about this? Like, this is a really bad situation. What am I going to do? And it led me to a point where I was just like beating myself up. Like, I was just like, yo, just trying to figure out, like, I had to sit in the car for a minute, and I was just like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, you said you were supposed to be a provider. You said you were supposed to be you were supposed to be the man. You were supposed to lead these people. You were supposed to do this. You were supposed to do that. And how could you sit here and call yourself a leader? How could you sit here and call yourself a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, a provider, a family man, father figure. How could you call yourself any of these things if you can't come up with chump change to pay for your home? And this was the conversation that I was having with myself, and it led me to a point like I was just like thinking about all the things that I said, whether it's on the podcast or whether I say to other people in their moment of their lows, where somebody else was having a bad day or a bad situation. I tried to get them straight, because that's been my role. That's supposed to be my role. I felt like I was put here on this planet to be that role, and I felt like I felt like I was a liar. I felt like a fraud, bro. I was like, yo, you grown, dog. Like you were an adult. Like, why are you not able to handle this? Like, this is a childish situation that you should have already been through when you're in like your early 20s, and now you 30 years old and you're going through this, bro. Like, you are too old for this. And I was like literally just having this conversation, just looking myself in the rearview mirror, because I was sitting in the car, man. I had to like clear my thoughts. And man, I was going through it, man. I really was, man. And it was so bad that, like, even when I went back and edited last week's episode, like, I couldn't even look at myself, because I felt so bad about me and who I was. And I felt like that little 20-year-old Aaron Mack, who didn't know how to do nothing, man. So that's why I wanted to bring that to this podcast, man. And I wanted to discuss that. And that's pretty much what my week is, man. But before we get into that, like, well, what's going on with you?
Oh well, as you seen,
This is about to be a hard episode, so yeah. Yeah. By the way, I did see that. That was the pixel art that you've been doing, man. It's coming together. It's
yeah.
definitely
So
coming together.
how I came up with that was
Mm.
took some time off work.
Could I post that on the episode?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gotta figure out a way
Yeah.
to download it though. But yeah,
I could send you the file for it. I'm actually trying to get it critiqued now from this guy on YouTube that does free, like, he'll take like some random people, whoever sends it to him. He'll critique their artwork, say what he would have done better.
yeah,
It may necessarily not be where they wanted to go with it or
Yeah.
whatever, but it's somebody that's been in the game a lot longer than I have.
Right.
Want that feedback from it.
visiting another planet.
Yeah. Like last week's episode, we talked about no man's island, just like kind of what you're saying, man. It happens, like setbacks, they happen.
Yeah,
The way you're going about it right now shows that growth that you really don't see a lot. I mean, you've grown. You're not that 20-year-old Aaron Mack. Like,
yeah,
not to digress back to that, but the art is coming along. Getting some animations in there. I'm gonna try to work on that. But yeah, man, I've been like setting time away to really focus on that, to grind that out, to maybe get something off the ground.
Oh yeah.
Like next month or
Oh yeah.
whatever. So
Hey, and I was thinking about it, right? Because I'm really a huge fan of Ultimate Alliance, and I was thinking about it. I was like, yo, what if? And I was like, just sitting down chilling yesterday, and I was like, yo, what if Marcus was to make a Ultimate Alliance type game with the universe that I'm creating? I'm like, yo, that would be dope. I was playing Temtem, and that's what made me think of it, though. So I finally picked that back up after a whole year and a half of not playing it. I bought it and just didn't play it anymore. Yeah, it's like the hardest game I've ever played in my life. It was just weird. Like, can't get nowhere on that damn game. But anyway, that's not the point here. Yeah, man. Glad to see that you.
insane on that one.
Huh?
I said the level jumps is insane on that game.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It is insane. But anyway, glad to see that you in the trenches and putting in that hard work, man. Everything that you do when no one else is looking is the things that create a champion, man. So keep that in mind. And keep working, man. I can't wait to see what you're able to produce with Morton's Castle. We're looking forward to it. So yeah, this is about to be a very fun topic. Last week you decided to make the episode about you, selfish ass. I guess this episode is gonna be about me
Fair enough.
well, not necessarily about me, but I just wanted to talk about the star player mentality.
Mhm.
And I know I sent you a little bit about what I wanted where I wanted this episode to go. I just
Right.
want to be honest with you. I'm not looking at that message. I have no idea where I said I wanted this episode to go, but star player mentality is definitely something that um, yeah, you know what? Boss of Foss, fam. Boss of
That's awesome.
Foss. Boss of
Okay.
Foss. Is it a boss move or a false move to take care of yourself first before you take care of anybody else? That is my question.
I'd say it's definitely a boss move because say you don't take care of yourself. Say you do the completely opposite. You're always worried about somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then say you don't take care of the main parts of you or
Mm-hmm.
the things connected to you.
Right.
Like you could be one of your many stories. You could be driving your friends around, always giving people rides, helping people out with transportation and whatnot. But if you're not taking care of yourself in your car, say your car breaks down, and then where are all those people at that you've been helping? They
Mark,
ain't got no vehicle. They ain't got nothing.
I'm glad you went there, fam. I'm glad you went there. Because I will say that during those time periods, I was the loner growing up. I didn't really have many friends. I didn't have brothers or sisters. I'm an only child, and I was literally like calling out of work in most cases to hang out with these guys,
Oh,
and I ain't had no gas money, Mark.
mm,
Because I was
damn.
calling out of work, I ain't had no gas money, Mark. So you can imagine they ain't never give me no gas money, Mark, but they always wanted to ride. So
Yep.
yeah, it's funny that you said that. But yeah, back to the question about is it a boss or a false move? Yeah, man, it's definitely a boss move because like, and this is an opinion, fam. I want everybody to get that. This is not opinion. On the airplane, they said if anything happens and you had to put in and oxygen mask drop from the ceiling, it's like if for any reason the plane starts to fall out of the sky, then the oxygen inside of the plane might be altered. You might not be able to breathe. So for that reason, they have the oxygen masks that fall from the compartments up above, and they say if the masks fall, put your mask on first. And it always people always ask the question. I heard this. They talked about it on S2S Secret to Success podcast with Eric Thomas. They talked about it on there, and even Carl on there, he was like, "Yo, I don't understand that. I got kids with me. Why would I not put my mask on and leave my kids hanging?" And I remember hearing that same conversation when I was in the army, and we used to talk about this same thing. Somebody asked the same question. Why would it, like they if I got people around me, why would I put my mask on first if I need to focus on my kids or somebody else that's with me? And people get so focused on everybody else and helping everybody else that they forget that they need to be selfish enough to be able to put themselves in a position to help everybody else. So is it a boss move to put your mask on first? Absolutely. Because if you don't, you might mess around and suffocate, and you can't put nobody mask on. So it don't even matter. It don't even matter, right? So that's why I wanted to go there for a second. Uh, and I'm talking to what are you, a high D, a high C, right? No, you a high C, right?
I think so.
Come on, man. You don't remember you don't remember your own joint, man? Come on, man. Come on, man. Shame.
I know I had.
Shame on you, Marcus.
What was C? The C was not compassion. What was compassion?
I don't know. I'm not a high C. Hold on 1 second. Hey Lee, what was a high C? What was the C on the disc assessment? Was it conservative? We don't know. We don't know. I gotta look at a disc. I got yours right here.
Okay.
So I got the whole squad right here. I got mines, I got Lee's, Coco's, I got her mom's, her sisters, her brothers, law. Like I got everybody joined. Like I want to know everybody. I want to know everybody. That's what I'm like, for real. Like I did that. Huh? Conscious, cautious. Got it. Yep. Yeah, I think you. Yeah, you were the high C because no, she was the high C. You were the high S. Yeah, stable. Yeah, you were high S. I remember that. Yep. So yeah, now that we done went off on that little tangent. Anyway, so what is your take on that, man? Like being selfish enough to help others, like in the being selfish in the light of helping others. Like how do you feel about that? What is your take on it? Or based off of the topic of today's podcast, how did you perceive it when I sent it to you? Because I'm a little curious about that as well.
Well, star player mentality, first of all, is kind of like how we always talk about it. It's you being, in a position where you can help others. Even if you want to help others and be in that position, always come back to yourself. Like you need to because you get yourself up in the morning, put the clothes on your back, put, your pants leg in one at a time, whatever. You do that for yourself. No one else does that. No one else comes in your home and does any of that. So you have to take care of your mental space, your sanctuary space, your house in general, and just make sure that is a positive environment for you.
Yeah.
If you're constantly, the world is negative.
Yeah.
You see on the news that there's negative things. You barely see any good things come from the world because that's what they want you to see.
Yeah.
So at least you and yourself and everything connected to you needs to be a positive environment for you or anyone in general.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel about it.
Absolutely.
I've been in that position many times where I've always, trying to help others, go above and beyond to help others. It happens. I've ended up being like burnt out. I've had to driving home by myself. At the end of the day, I'm always the one driving home by myself. I'm dead tired. I have to like pull over the side of the road or at like a gas station, get like a quick little nap so I can, re-energize to make it home.
Dang.
I know the struggle.
Hold up, man. You got a story behind that? What are we talking about here? Like,
just like driving people around, helping them out. I know I've like it's always weird because it's like I had a couple of friends that they would end up in a position, like end up like in Richmond somewhere, and I was like, hey,
yeah.
Can you drive me home? I'm like, how did you get to Richmond? Like how did
you end up like you ain't had no you got a plan to get up there, but you ain't had no plan back. Like how that happened?
Right.
I was your dog. You know what? Never mind. They had a plan back. You were that plan.
Yeah, basically. And I was just like, how did we get here? That's basically
how the fuck did we get here? Like, let's bring the question back. How the fuck we get here? But it like I said, this will be a tough episode. It made me like that last week's conversation. It made me look at myself, man, in a way. And the reason why that situation put me in a space where I was looking at the star player mentality as a problem. Not necessarily the problem, but the problem was that I said it, and in a few ways I didn't mean it. And actually, let me rephrase that. I said it, but in a few ways, though I meant it, I didn't do what I said I was going to do. Yeah, yeah. So it was a self-evaluation thing where I had to say, okay, well, I put what was important to me on the back burner, and I didn't necessarily do it for someone else. I did it because I thought that's what was necessary to do. But what I should have did was I should have put me first, because we're in the situation that I'm in. I'm not in a position where I can help anybody at this point. So it didn't make a difference if I was trying to do something to please something external, because at the end of the day, I'm still the one out back because of it. That's why we're talking about the star player mentality right now. I wanted to go ahead and put that out there. Then the star player mentality, I don't want anybody to breeze over it, right? It's not about being selfish. You see the logo, right? I'm not wearing a logo today, but you ain't either. So I don't even. But so the logo, the Ascension Star, man, I know everybody see it. Like the guys was in the studio yesterday. What is this right here? Like, yo, that's the Ascension Star. Like, and Herb, he liked to do this little thing where he said, oh yeah, that's their company or that's their thing, and this is the mother. I'm like, nah. It's a little bit deeper than that, bro. But you know, I can't just go ahead and give everybody a motivational speech on the spot, because that ain't necessarily how it's supposed to be when I'm trying to hurry up and get folks into their studio space, and you know, and get on back to my work. But I want everybody to understand this. The Ascension Star, it's not about being selfish. It's not a A that represents my name for whatever. I don't know what the fuck that is all about. Everybody just expect that just stands for Aaron. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't get it. First of all, the Ascension Star has 3 elements. And I talked about this already on a few different podcasts before. If you need to hear it again, I need you to understand that it's not about being selfish. That Ascension Star represents you. That Ascension Star represents me. That Ascension Star represents us. But at the same time, you need to make sure that you look at that logo. And if you're going to represent that logo, you're going to represent it to the fullest. That means that when you look at it and you embrace it, that means that at this logo here, it represents everything that I need to do to fix my life. That's what that logo means. That A it stands for Ascension. It doesn't stand for Aaron. Let's go ahead and put that out there. It's the first letter of the alphabet. What is also the first letter of the alphabet? The alpha. Did y'all hear that? It represents the alpha, not the A, not the English letter A, but the Greek letter alpha, because alpha says that I am the boss of my own life. The star is what you should be aiming for. Every time you do something in your life, you should be aiming for the stars. And the green arrow represents growth. Those are the 3 elements that create the Ascension Star. So when I talk about the star player mentality, I don't mean just go out here and just be selfish just for the sake of being selfish. If you're going to be selfish, if you're going to live your life with a selfish purpose, because it's okay to be selfish, but at the same time, you got to have a plan for yourself, and you have to have a plan for everybody else around you. My plan is that I need to be as selfish as humanly possible right now to gain the capital and to gain everything that I need right now for me, so that my vision can help everybody else along the way. I can't focus on everybody else's goals, everybody else's dreams, everybody else's vision. This is why ideas right now mean nothing to me. If you come to me with an idea, Marcus, what happens when people come to me with ideas? I'm gonna drink my water real quick. Let Marcus answer that.
You'd be like, all right, I hear your idea, but what are you doing to work today? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, and don't just come to me with ideas. Come to me with an idea,
with a plan.
And what
when we starting, because that's a good idea, but when we starting? And I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's not a lot of people who come to me with ideas who are ready to start on anything. And that's a problem. That's a problem for me because I don't understand that if you wanted to do something, when did you plan on putting the time in doing it? But what I noticed was that people don't come to me with the idea because they want help with the idea. They want to keep the brand of the idea, but they want me to put in the work for them. Wow. They want me to put in the work for them. You want me to tell you exactly what you need to do. You want me to put the words down for you on the paper. You want me to put in the marketing skills that I know that I've gained, and by all means, I promise you, it's not the best marketing skills in the world because I ain't a millionaire yet. But that's beyond. That's not even the point yet. That's not even the point right now. You want me to put in the work for you because you know that I'm a person that I put myself first. So you think that I'm just going to take your idea, let you get the credit for it because I'm nice like that, and you just take all the credit for it. But I promise you, that ain't even what any of this is about. That was completely off the rails right there. And we talked about it last week with star player mentality, man. And we used the analogy of LeBron James being a star player. I just learned something today. I promise y'all, I'm not a sports person, and I'm watching Secret to Success podcast. So y'all know I'm a faithful of that podcast, man. If there's any other podcast that I listen to, it's the Secret to Success, man. And I was listening to that like an hour before we got on here, man. I didn't know Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers, bro. I swear I didn't know that. But we talking about star player mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, tell me how this happened. Tom Brady has been with the Patriots for 19 years. And I looked it up. I had to look it up. For 19 years, the last, how many years was it? The Patriots been in the Super Bowl. I think it's the last 4 years at this point. Last 4, I want to say.
Like, have they been in it? I know they make it in it like a good.
Yeah, they make it in the majority of the time. Tom Brady has more. He has more rings than anybody in the NFL right now. He's been playing for 20 years, bro. Like his numbers are off the charts right now. Why he go to the Buccaneers? In the first year he on the Buccaneers is his best year. And the Buccaneers ain't been to the Super Bowl in a while.
Come on. And
they going to the Super Bowl next month. How that happen? Tell me how that happened. If we want to think about the star player mentality, that is the perfect example to look at it. The star player, and people wants to say that it's the player that makes the team. Nah.
No, like the team. The team
it's
makes
the team that makes the team. The player, the star player, he came on and he changed the culture of the team.
Oh.
He changed the culture of the team. So he didn't he didn't leave the Patriots a winning platform, a winning organism, a winning organization, and go to the Buccaneers and say, all right, I'm just going to be this winning player on this losing team. And granted, they might have been a good team beforehand, but at the same time, they ain't went to the Super Bowl in a minute. So let's go ahead and talk about that. We can look it up right now. I don't even know the last time they went to the Super Bowl. I don't know. I'm not a football fan. I don't watch football. This is not about sports. I promise you it's not. But this is just the analogy that I'm using right now because I heard it a few minutes ago. And it blew my mind. Because this man who I don't like the Patriots. Because I don't like football, but I don't like the Patriots either because it's too much hype. It's like, how many teams is it in the NFL? And why we always hearing about this same team? Like somebody else got to do something else, right? But at the same time, you got to look at it like you got to break it down and reverse engineer it. Like, why is that happening? What makes him, and I told Lee, I was like, yo, I would love to interview Tom Brady and just figure out like, yo, what's different from you than it is from the other guys? 32 teams in the NFL, right? How many is it? Ain't it 30-some teams? I ain't
It
got
might be.
Alexa.
Might be more.
How many NFL teams are there?
I know about 32 NFL football
32.
teams.
Got
32.
it. All right. So, yeah, it's 32 NFL teams, right? And only one team just makes it to the Super Bowl just about every year. How does that happen? How does that happen? What are you creating? What are you creating around you in your space that is conducive of saying that that I am a winning player and this is my winning team? And this might sound like it's about teamwork, but I promise you I'm getting back to the point. And the reason why I'm bringing it to the star player mentality, because the question was asked on Secret to Success. It's not about the people around you who are winners. It's about when the losing people come around you, why do they still feel comfortable being a loser in your presence?
Oh.
That question knocked me out, bro. Like I literally could not watch the rest of that episode anymore. Like I still had to watch it. I still had to watch the rest of it eventually, but because I feel like there's going to be some more stuff where they're going to make me feel bad about myself. But I promise you that's the point. Because no man is the universe. No man is a solar system. You are just a planet. Right? Oh man, Marcus.
Oh.
Add some stuff to it, bro. Add some stuff to it. I don't know what.
So
All
right. So
had to get a drink of water. Go ahead.
what I got from that is I think they also use this analogy with Michael Jordan, how he brought on dude that gets like a lot of rebounds and just
got it.
Made the team like better.
Got it.
Without his star playerism or star player mentality or whatever you want to call it, he wouldn't have got the team to that.
Yeah.
Just like we said, your energy, a star player's energy affects everything around them. Like if Michael Jordan, LeBron, Tom Brady, if they came to their teams and was like, hey, we're not gonna win this one, that just diminishes the whole mentality of their team. And that needs to be taken into anything. I mean, I kind of felt a little bit more selfish than more people, because like I feel like if everybody comes to the table and bring their 100% A game, it should be just like a well-oiled machine. Like this person is doing what it needs to be to do whatever they're doing, whatever they're good at. This person over here is doing the same thing, and it all just clogs together and just works. Everything just works out perfectly. But that is star
man.
player. It has to be like each individual has to bring that heart into it. That star player, they gotta take care of themselves so they can get to that point.
And I like to. I think back on to like a situation like when I was younger. I was pretty much taught in my household that family had to stick together. Through thick and thin, family had to stick together. And though that may be true, that mentality could lead you into more harm than it could lead you into good. Because though family has to stick together, yes, that is true. Blood is thicker than water. Family must stick together. If I'm putting myself in a bad situation to help my family, then how do I help my family?
Yeah.
So the question is if I got to sacrifice everything that I am, everything that I'm doing, everything that I do has to be used to help the family who can help themselves. What happens when I need that help? Because just like you said about the friends, the friend that you had to pick up in Richmond, that friend, he put himself in that situation. But guess what happened? Because because I was the one that you came to for help every single time, guess where you went to when you needed help? You didn't think twice about going to nobody else but the person that helped you the last time.
Mm-hmm. That was the first person they picked this time.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of you being the last the first time,
and you will be the first person,
and
you will be the first person to tell you say no. And guess what happens when you say no?
Oh man, come on, man.
Oh no, they'll talk about you.
Looking at you.
They'll talk bad about you. The moment you say no, they'll talk bad about you. Which, might I add, is also a problem. Why do they feel comfortable doing that with you? Why do they feel comfortable? Because you never took care of your star player. You didn't take care of your star player. You didn't make your star player seem like it was important. So guess what? The people around you, they don't look at it like it's important. If you don't care about it, why the fuck should they? Why do I need to care about your star player if you don't? That's the purpose of this conversation. Why do I need to look at you like you're important if you don't look at yourself like you're important? Why do I need to care about your feelings? Guess what? I don't care about your damn feelings. I don't care about your feelings. That's why when people come to me about those damn ideas, I do not care about your feelings, because your feelings are not important. You didn't show that your mission was important. So therefore, I didn't listen. I tuned you out. I completely tuned you out because you didn't have a goal. So guess what? If your mission isn't important to you, I'm not going to take your mission important because it's not important to me. So therefore, if you can't make the moves to help yourself, then I'm not going to look at you to help you because you haven't put in the work to make it happen for you. So why should I even jump off? Why should I even jump out of my crib to even help you get into yours if you ain't even had the audacity to pick the fucking ladder up off the floor to help yourself in it? Why do I need to do that? That's not my job. My job is to take care of me. Your job is to take care of you. And then we come together as two individuals to figure out how we can push each other forward. That is the point. That is where you're supposed to be. You are never supposed to be in a situation where you are beneath someone, or you are less than someone. You are inadequate in comparison to someone. I ain't never looked at ET and said that I couldn't do what he do. I ain't never looked at ET and said that. I ain't never looked at James Patterson and said that I can't do what James Patterson do. James Patterson wrote 147 books in his entire career. He released 17 of those books in 2015 alone. I ain't never looked at James Patterson and said I can't do that. Never. Bruh. Let me calm down for a second. Let me calm down.
On the road there, man.
I told you, bro. This episode is because of that situation that happened to me last week. I'm in a different kind of headspace right now, dog. Like I haven't looked at anything the same since that moment. Like everything just started to break down around me. Like all of my ideals started to break down around me, because we know ideals are not important. The only thing that matters is the truth. So your ideals, what you want things to be like, what you think things should be like, none of those things really matter compared to the truth. And the truth was that I didn't do what I supposed to do to put myself in a position where I can take care of the people that I want to take care of. And that was the truth. My ideal said that I had time to figure it out. That was my ideal. My ideal said that I'm moving forward, but the forward progression is good enough, but it wasn't. That was the ideal. The truth is that I'm broke. The truth is I'm living paycheck to paycheck. The truth is I don't have what I need to get my business off the ground. My life is on pause right now because I'm working paycheck to paycheck, and there are things that I want to do that I cannot do. God damn it. There are things, I'm sorry, people on Facebook, YouTube, my camera failed. Give me a second. Got some technical difficulties right now. We back. Anyway, we good? We good? You can still hear me? Everything good?
Everything's good.
All right, cool. All right, so the truth was that I didn't do what I was supposed to do, right? I didn't take care of my star player enough to put myself and my family in a position where we can thrive. That was the truth. So when you get to that, right? And the reason why I made this about the star player, I don't want y'all to think about nothing else right now. If you're listening to this, I don't want you to think about nothing but you. That's the only person that really matters right now is you, right? Because being that truth hit me the way it did, who can I blame? Think about it.
Nobody but yourself.
Think about it. Exactly. Who can I blame? You can't turn around and blame nobody else. And if you that person, that has gone around to start playing the blame game just because you don't have what you think you should have, guess what? You will never have it because you never evaluated yourself long enough. You never saw exactly what you are so that you can grow into something that you are supposed to be, because you have been so stuck on trying to blame the rest of the world for your problems. I'm just being real. Dirty trunk, right?
Those are facts.
Where the elephant
Those are
is
facts.
always welcome. This episode about me. I'm talking about myself right now. And you shouldn't be thinking about nobody but you. You shouldn't even be listening to nothing I'm saying right now. You should just be like, my voice should be your inner voice right now, just yelling at you to get yourself out of your situation. Get your ain't shit self out your ain't shit situation so you can be some shit.
Ooh.
We can bring it back to that.
I love it.
God damn it.
Again. You got
Camera
a clip
fell
on that
again.
thing?
Huh?
You ain't got a clip on that thing?
No. I usually put it on the on top of the monitor, but I'm moving, right? So the bed, the living room junky. So I don't want to show y'all all the boxes and all of the junk and the mess and that I got everywhere. Like I don't want that to be like the prime focus, because people be getting all distracted and stuff. So I ain't want to be putting the limelight all on that stuff. So yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, people, focus on yourself. It's not selfish. Well, be selfish. If you see it as being selfish, then by all means be selfish. Because if you want to help people or do better or just do something that makes you feel happy, do it. Do everything in you that you can possibly do to make that situation happy, where you're happy, other people are happy, other people around you happy, but let it start with you, because scientifically, to make somebody else happy, all it takes is a smile, for real, and that triggers something in your brain to be happy. That triggers somebody else's brain to be happy. No matter what people are going through, you can program your brain to get out of that situation, to be happy through that situation. All it takes is realizing yourself, figuring out how you operate, and then just once you figure it out, once you got yourself locked down, go out there and be successful. Do what you need to do to do your thing.
Y'all got whoever's listening to this, and this is a problem for you. You got to stop letting the rest of the world tell you who you are and dictating who you are. You have to be right within yourself, man. It's not the rest of the world's job to fix you if you're broken. You had to understand that it is that if I am to be whole, then you had to understand that you are not you are not where you need to be now. So you need to accept the help. You need to accept the help. And some people they get extremely focused on what other people are and what they're not versus what they're not. And it's weird to me that these people they're not selfish enough to figure out how to succeed, but they're too selfish to get the help to succeed, if that makes sense. Because these people, they also reject the transformation. And it's almost like getting a blue tattoo on black skin. It just don't show up. It just don't show up. It don't. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being realistic about it. But some people they never get the help they need to figure that thing out, man. And I never went to therapy. And even now, even though like I know, like I feel like I kind of got a grasp on everything that I need to have mentally, I feel like there's still some opportunity that I need to go talk to a professional and figure out how to figure out how to rewire my brain and move forward, like just for progression's sake, right? Because there's still some challenges that I deal with based off of my my upbringing that kind of left me with bad wiring. And most people don't even understand that the reason you are the way you are is because of what you came from. And my parents, they screwed me up a little bit. So I know for a fact that I need to go back and deal with that. And some people are too selfish to figure out like, yo, that's what I need to do. As a kid, let me tell you, Marcus, give me this. Give me this answer right quick. How many children do you know that has a problem with the star player mentality? Answer that.
Children?
Answer that realistically. How many children do you know that has a problem with the star player mentality? Give me this.
Ooh.
How many infant anythings do you know that has a problem with the star player mentality? Go ahead. I'll wait.
I mean, I can give you the number of the opposite of that question. Like, they don't have a problem with the star player mentality.
They all got it. Every single one of them got it. And watch this, Marcus. I'm about to throw something at you, and I hope you catch it. If a kid has a problem with the star player mentality, I can guarantee you that he's not having a very fun time at home. He's not having a very fun time at home. Something in his world has already ruptured and destroyed his views on his ideals and his truth. His truth and his ideals have been clashing already. And a child should never be in that situation. But guess what? There's many cases that children get hit with some bullshit from their parents and their star player mentality, gone. It's done. It's out of there. You're done. And what made me adopt this notion of the star player mentality was when I realized that from a young age, I was taught not to have it because me not putting myself first offended someone else. I'm trying to prove a point here, man. I'm trying to prove a point here. I was taught by a parent. That if you put yourself first, then that puts me in danger. So don't do that. Somebody who's supposed to mean you good in the world, somebody who's supposed to take care of you, somebody who is supposed to love and protect you at all costs, taught me that my star player mentality was a problem and a cardinal sin. Even used the Bible as a reference to me, to saying that I am not supposed to be my own person. And so many people go through that they and they don't understand that somewhere in your childhood something taught you that this wasn't okay. So you need to go back and fix that. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is a weird thing for me to hear somebody say that they have this issue and they do not want the help to fix it. It is the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know that there's a problem. You know that there's an opportunity for this to be amended, but you choose to sit in the problem without fixing the problem. That never made any sense to me. But I felt it. I've been there. And I promise you I've been there, because like there was a time period where I was struggling trying to figure out, like what, and Marcus asked me 2 weeks ago, how did I get to be this charismatic, passionate person, whatever the question is that he asked me. This is how. This is how. Right here. This conversation right here. I had to have this talk with myself. I had to look in the mirror and have this conversation with myself many and many of times. This is not a joke. This is not a game. If you have this issue, you need to address it. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it. If you start trying to live your life as a normal person without being normal within yourself, guess what? You won't have a normal life. You will be building a foundation on sand, and you will be like that building that we talked about in California on They didn't dig into that bedrock. They ain't digging to that bedrock. And if you start trying to live your life and try to sweep this under the rug, guess what? You'll be building on top of sand too. So I promise you're gonna have to deal with it sooner or later. You might as well go ahead and deal with it right now while you're thinking about it. Go ahead and get that out the way. Way to cut that out, because it's not even worth it, bro. It's not even worth it. Figure out who you are as a person. Figure out, because like I said, it's not about what you want. It's about what you don't want.
What you don't want.
And do you want to be a person that has to rely on external variables all your life to be happy? Ask yourself that. Do your family deserve that? At some point, I'm guessing if you don't require the help, then you probably think that they do deserve it, which is also a problem. So
that's deep. I don't even know if you meant for it to go this way, but what I got from that is like if you don't follow the star player mentality, you're basically turning yourself into a slave, or the people around you that says that star mentality is a no go. They're basically turning you into their personal slave. It's slavery all the none. If you're not doing what you love to do, not focusing on yourself, you're a slave to whatever has that grasp on you. You don't have freedom, because freedom would be that enjoyment that you get from doing what you love.
Let's go, Mark. You done struck a nerve. Like, we done messed around, and you're gonna make this episode last about another 30 minutes because you just said that. Let's go, man. Look, check this out, right? I had a situation where our vanilla, our place of employment, they say that like they have core values and whatnot, and one of those core values just pretty much say that you gotta have a backbone. Boy, do you know that's the worst, the joint that they hate the most? You know that's the joint that they hate the most. For you to have backbone and disagree and commit, right? They hate that, right? And I probably shouldn't have said that, but cause that's a little telling. But anyway, so I end up in situations all the time where I'm like, yo, this is wrong. This is wrong on some ethic levels. So because I am who I am, and I am whole the way I am whole, I'm going to tell you that this is wrong, because I ain't doing it because I know it's wrong, and I'm not doing it for myself. Let me hit you here. Let me hit you here with the joint, right? Some people are so behind on their self-value that they'll let the world put them through anything and don't even complain about it. Some people will let the world put them in all kind of screwed up situations, and they don't even complain about it. They don't ask no questions. They just say, okay, you want me to do that? All right, yeah, I got you. never bat an eye. And I've already, I feel like I already hit on this already a little bit, but if you took care of yourself, then you would know that if it's wrong is wrong. I'm gonna just go ahead and put that out there. I have never understood the value of saying that, okay, I want to help this person. All right, I'm gonna give an example. Right? My mom she's not like 100% financially stable in a sense of like she ain't balling like that, right? Paycheck to paycheck. She was a single mother, even though I started working when I was 12 years old. So let's not even go ahead and she was only a single mother paying all the bills for maybe 2 years after my dad died. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. The rest of the time she put me to work so she can have a second income in the household, which I ain't gonna say one way or another is the right way to raise your kids or whatnot. But however, that's my truth, and that's what happened to me. I don't think I would necessarily put make my 12-year-old pay rent. Like I don't think that's necessarily the way to go. But that's my truth, right? That happened to me. I ended up paying bills very early in life. I was told that I had to be the man of the house at the age of 13 because I was a teenager. This happened on my 13th birthday. I was given a cell phone and was told that I need to be the man of the house. I already had a job. I got a job at 12. So I missed out on a very, very big chunk of my childhood. But what I realized is that, okay, now I'm making money, but my money ain't my money. My money is her money. But I'm the one working for it. Right? Because that's my mom. I was told that you shouldn't doubt this. You shouldn't question this. This is how it's supposed to be because the Bible said, honor thy mother, honor thy father. Okay? So, don't value yourself. This is your situation. You live with it. And, the most famous term, if you're under my roof, these are my rules. This is what it's going to be, right? We've all heard it, right? But when it came time to move from under her roof, how many opportunities did she make to keep me under her roof and sabotage the situation of me getting out of the from under her roof, right? This is the example, right? But this is my truth, right? It's not about my ideals, because my ideals was that's my mom. I should listen. I should focus. I should just do whatever she tells me to do, right? But I'm still working my ass off, working 2 jobs to pay her money, to pay her bills, while she is spending her money on leisure and luxuries and new cars and bingo and lottery tickets and cigarettes, right? Not paying her bills. Just going ahead and put that out there. This is my truth. I can't say anything about anybody else's reality. This is my truth. My ideals clash with my truth at some point, right? My ideal said that if I'm going to work, I want my own money. I want to spend what I earn, especially if I'm working 2 jobs and overtime at both of them. I want my own life. I need my own life. I'm coming into an adult. I need my own life. This is just the example. Like I add, this is just the example. Don't nobody get offended. I promise you I'm getting to a point. I promise you, when hard times hit me, I was 26 years old. I asked my mom, could I move back in? And she tried to repeat the same trend all over again. She cussed me out for leaving the house when I did at 22. I got a divorce. I came back and she let me stay, but there was a catch to it. Her truth started to her ideals started to clash with my ideals of what my life should look like. She tried to repeat the same trend all over again. So here's what I want you guys to understand. Had I not adopted the star player mentality. The star player mentality was created in that moment. When in those days where I was at my lowest of low, had got a car repossessed, got divorced, moved back in with my mom at the age of 26, the star player mentality, the Ascension brand was created then. It was created then. It wasn't established then, but it was created then.
Created then.
I was in a situation where I needed to figure out that my ideals were not important. It was just my truth. And the truth is that if I allowed that to happen, I always wanted to help my mom. This ain't even about her being a horrible person. I ain't trying to put her out back or nothing like that. This is always about helping her, because I always wanted, I knew that she was a single parent growing up, and that the loss of my father messed her up a little bit. I knew that. I already figured that out. Like that won't even a problem here. The problem was that that stuff happened to her, and she won't prepare for it, so she took it out on me. She didn't take care of her star player, so I had to suffer because you didn't take care of your star player. Bruh, how many people has to suffer because you don't take care of you and what you got going on? How many people do you have to hurt in order to bring yourself back to reality, bring yourself back to life, because you ain't take care of your star player? Why your kids got to suffer in the process? Help me understand that. Help me understand that. And look, it's not even about her right now. This is about me, because right now, this ain't about pointing the blame game. This ain't about doing none of that. Had I been in a situation where I allowed her to do that to me, and I didn't recognize who I was and be whole within myself, then I would have allowed her to do that up until now. I would still be in that situation now had I not grew the spine and the backbone to get myself out of that shitty situation and move forward with my life. I'm a grown man. I owed it to myself, my family in the future, the legacy that I planned on starting. I owed it to them to get myself out of that situation. So had I not grew the backbone to do so and get out of that, then I would still be in that situation right now, because that's who she is. She had not gone through the growth and development that it takes to get herself out of that situation, to save up her money and not spend her money on bullshit that she doesn't need. She hasn't gone through that yet. That doesn't make her a bad person. She's just one of the people who rejected the growth. She rejected the transformation. That doesn't make her a bad person. She just decided that she wants to spend her life making everybody else the problem and pointing the blame game at other people. That's fine. By all means, go ahead and do that if you want to do that, boo. But that's just not me. That's just not me. So that is an extreme example that I just gave you. It's real. It's realistic, because that is my real life story for anybody who ever wanted to know, like, about the bad relationship between my mom and I. That's about as far as I'm gonna go into it. But that is my truth, and that was the case that my mother wanted me to be. She wanted me to take care of her like I would take care of myself. And I promise y'all, man. Like, for all of those people who family oriented, like, I ain't got nothing against y'all. I ain't got nothing against that idealistic, bro. But at the same time, like, I got to be able to take care of me in order to take care of mine. And if you are part of mine, then let me take care of me first, so I can come back and help and bless you at the end. Let me take care of me. Let me spread my wings a little bit, so I can fly away. I can make what's mine, so I can bring back to the table. And don't hold me at a leash when you let me go. Don't hold me at a leash when you let me go. Don't let me go to your advantage and say, all right, you're going too far. Let me pull you back. Let me reel you back in a little bit. Let me fly a little bit on my own, so I can come back and take care of mine. Because if you part of mine, then I'm going to take care of you anyway. Bruh.
Nuggets.
It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science, Mark.
It's not. But I all right. So you said a lot. Take it to the beginning. Yeah, that needed to be said, man, because you wouldn't believe how many other people have that same story.
I know.
Whether it be with their mother or father. but it's just like you said, like those ideas somewhere along their life, their story or whatever, they realize that, hey, this isn't right, this is wrong, something feels off.
Right.
Like your ideas are clashing with what's the truth here, what's really supposed to be going on.
Right.
And what's sad to say is that some people don't realize that until it's too late, or it's just like extremely too far. Just like I think it's that movie off Netflix. I think it's based on a true story. 19-year-old or something like that. Old white lady had this crippled daughter, allegedly crippled daughter. I don't think she was actually crippled at all, and she kept taking her to like the hospital to get like checks or something, telling her to say that, oh, you're this age, and it went on for a long time until she like broke out of it. And I think her actual age was like, maybe she was like in like her 20s or something. I haven't like watched it and all, but yeah, like it can get to that extreme. Like you should like trust those instincts that you have, because most of the time they're correct. Like if something's wrong, you're gonna feel that within you. Like if you're doing something against what your true nature is, it's gonna show. You're gonna feel it.
Yep.
Oh, and there's a lot of manipulators out there that would, if you don't take care of yourself, you're gonna be tweaked to their advantage instead of your own. And that's something, your star player mentality, it has to be grown, it has to be established, or just like they say, if you don't believe in yourself, you'll fall for anything.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's true, man. That's true. I went back to that example because in reality, like, it's our upbringing that shapes how we see ourselves as adults. And that upbringing was the catalyst for me believing that I wasn't good enough, that I was inadequate, and I couldn't do anything on my own. There was a time where I believed that if there wasn't a woman there to hold my hand while doing so, then I couldn't do it. And then what I realized was, like, in the area that I grew up in, that's just how women treated their men.
Yeah.
That's just how women treated their men. That's how mothers treated their sons. They just treated them as if they needed a woman to rely on to do everything for them. I got men in my family who are just the same. So there was no truth in that for me. I didn't want that. I just know what I didn't want. So I didn't want that. So I had to figure out how to get out of that. And that's the example that I use because of that. And that's a very extreme example. Like Marcus said, like, so there's a lot of people right now who go through stuff like that who can't figure it out. They just look at it and they say, okay, well, that's mom's. I'm supposed to do this because that's mom's. Well, okay. By all means, go ahead and do you. But when it blows up in your face, and there's nobody you can ask for help, then who are you gonna blame then? Because you blame moms on you not getting out of the situation. So now that the situation is rejecting you, who do you blame? It took me to get an IRS bill. Just go ahead and put that out there. It took me getting the $8,000 IRS bill for them saying that I got money that I never received, that I was never able to spend. It took me $8,000 later to figure it out that I needed to do this on my own. I needed to figure myself out. I need to get that star player mentality up. That's it. I'm done.
That's awesome.
I'm done.
That also brings me to like the effects of star player mentality. What you just went through, what you did to get out of that, reminds me of the picture you always see of they got like a whole line of matches lined up, and
Oh,
some of them are burned up to that one point, and it's one that's pulled back.
the
All it
power
takes is one.
of moving yourself from a toxic situation.
Mm-hmm.
The power of
And
removing yourself.
and some people would be like the opposite of that, letting it burn, letting it go down many generations, having that cycle
Yep.
repeated
Yep.
through bloodlines and bloodlines. But all it takes is that one person to just pull back away from that toxic situation, and you'll have a next generation that flourishes in many different ways.
That's what it was all about, man. Because I tell Alyssa all the time, like, yo, this is not the like I make no excuses for doing anything, because the kids that I plan on, that I want to have in the future, the kids that we plan on producing and bringing into this world, they don't give a fuck about what's going on right now. They don't give a
This is true.
flying fuck about none of that. The only thing they care about is, why did my mommy and daddy let that happen? Why did mommy and daddy allow this to happen? Why did they allow this to be the world that I came into? So I have to create a legacy, a dynasty, so that my children can flourish in. And I had to do that at any means necessary. Any means necessary. And what that means is, I had to make sure that my star player is up, so that I can set the example for them. Because like many kids before me, and my younger self and everybody around me, just like the rest of the world around me, I can't allow the world to take them out of that star player mentality. Because once you get pulled out of that star player mentality, it's hard to get back into it. And I can't allow that to happen, because my children are just going to look at me and say, what did you do? Where were you at? So I'm done, man. Marcus, I'm telling you, do not keep going, because this episode will be about 2 hours long. So be about 2 hours long. We're going to have to figure something out.
I was about to mention one more thing. But all right, yeah.
Go ahead.
That reminds me of the whole Will and Jaden Smith story.
Yeah.
How he was doing an interview, and he was talking about his son Jaden. How he's completely fearless. Like, anything he wants to do, he believes in, he goes for it. Like, that mentality right there is a prime example of star player mentality. Like, I remember one time, I think I seen Instagram or something. I think he went to his girlfriend's prom or whatever. She's dressed in all white. He's dressed in all white suit with a cape and a white Batman mask. And I'm like,
I remember that.
You can't get more boss.
I was
than
like,
that.
hold up. Let's back up on that one. Where my man had a real live Batman cowl that was white. Let's talk about that for 1 second. Like where he get that from? How much money you got to have to get a white Batman suit?
Yeah, a lot. I don't think Batman ever wore white until
Batman has
I think
never
he had
wore white.
Well, when he had the White Lantern ring, that's about it.
All right, yeah. Can we talk about how Batman was like the first person in DC or in comic book history to have all rings all the rings at once? Before Thanos, by the way. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Before Thanos had all the rings, Batman had them first.
Right. Like each one and each one plays on like the many different emotions.
Yeah, something like that.
Green is willpower, yellow is fear, which is the opposite of willpower. That's why they always clash. Blue is don't get me the line, and then I think red is angry.
I could ask the box up here. She probably tell. No, she suck at information. Like you gotta ask Google about information stuff. You can't ask the Echo joint. The Echo joint be hey, and you be like, I don't know that. Like what do you know? Like you can't do nothing but control stuff and set schedule reminders. Google can do that. Like stop playing with me. Anyway.
But yeah, man, star player mentality. Always take care of yourself. because nobody else in this world will. You know yourself better than anyone else. So who is there truly going to take care of yourself the way you would, want to be? Yeah.
If it's meant to be, it's up to me. That's the star player mentality. That's the star player mentality.
Gotta put that on the shirt.
And just like, and like we said in the last episode, just go stand in the mirror. Ask yourself, what do you want? What do you need? And how can I make you succeed? That's our time for today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is D. Aaron Mack. And this is us signing out. Peace.
Peace out. Love y'all. See y'all next week.